Paperboy News here to deliver y'all that daily report. Now salutes up to Munchie B. He had an OG from Rollin 40's Crip who goes by the name Seaweed, and he asked him about 600 and whether or not he really from Rollin 60s or not, and he answered it. So let's get straight into it. Now Seaweed said, how in the hell is 600 not from Rollin 60s if he's a Big U recruit? Cause he said when it comes to the Rollin 60s, Big U's one of the best to ever do it. Now Seaweed said one thing about him is he ain't gonna get into it with somebody from Rollin 40's Crip and then try to deny that he's not even from the set. And he said for 600 not to be from Rollin 60s, why would he kick it around the Rollin 60s and be tight with Big U for so many years? Now Seaweed said he can recall at a time where 600 and Big U was hanging around so much that people from Rollin 60s was starting to say that that's Big U's son. Then he says, I'm a reputable member from Rollin 40's Crip and I don't hang around no busters and rats. So if I say 600 is my boy, what does that tell you about him? Now Seaweed said you gotta understand the Rollin 60s Crip is a big gang and they have thousands of members. So just cause you got like 4 or 5 people from Rollin 60s on the internet saying that 600 is a rat and a buster, doesn't mean that they're speaking for the Rollin 60s as a whole, because there's a lot of people from Rollin 60s that still got love for him. Now Seaweed used himself as an example and he said just cause I'm from Rollin 40s and I don't kick it with a bunch of people from Rollin 40s, that don't mean I ain't from the set. And just like most big gangs, people have internal problems with other members, but just because you get into it with one of your own homies don't mean you're not from the set, especially if the person you're going at it with is a high-ranking member from your set. Now Seaweed said even though that ain't his politics, 600 being his boy, he told them that you know Big U is a big homie from y'all section, so just leave it alone. But he said 600 always told them that I'm a grown-ass man and I'm gonna do what I do. Now Seaweed said for the people online from Rollin 60s talking bad about 600 because the issues that he got with Big U, need to leave it alone because they ain't got nothing to do with them. Now I don't know if a person from Rollin 40's Crip should be saying this, but he said the same people that talk ish about 600 online sure didn't do that when it was in front of his face. Now the only reason I say that Seaweed should have never said that is because the Rollin 40s and 60s had issues back in the days, but they squashed it. And whatever 600 got going on with his section is between them. I mean, you see 4 extras, even though he got issues with Brick Baby, every time he gets asked about him online, he always says that's the homie and he leaves it like that. Now Munchie said he can understand why the Rollin 60s is mad at 600 because instead of just going at Big U, just because a lot of people signing with Big U, he's trying to say that a bunch of people from Rollin 60s is busters and rats. And he said if your main issues with Big U, just stick with that instead of trying to drag other people into it. Now the crazy thing is, right before Seaweed was gonna talk, he told Munchie to hold on because he got a phone call. And I wouldn't be shocked if that was a reputable member from Rollin 40s telling him not to speak on Rollin 60s politics. Now as soon as Seaweed hopped back on the phone, he changed the subject and they talked about 4 extra. Now you can tell Seaweed considers Christopher Lovejoy aka 600 a close homie. And although he didn't agree with him going at it with his own big homie from his set, he was basically telling the Rollin 60s, y'all can't deny he not from the set if one of the best to ever do it from your set vouched him. And just cause him and Big U had a fallout doesn't mean that y'all can go online and deny he was never from the set. Now salutes up to Munchie B as well as Seaweed for dropping that content, and now that you guys heard it, y'all like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in that comment section. It's Paperboy News Stand. Y'all be safe and stay dangerous out there. Gone.